back to Brashenomics, and, in keeping with the theme of why people are in Seattle, who better to have than one of the, I'll call the princesses of Seattle, owner of Seattleite magazine and the chief Seattleite.
Yes.
Over there, Jane Yuan. Prior to founding Seattleite, she actually worked with various news outlets like CBS News 48 Hours in New York, NBC and Fox affiliates, E! Entertainment in Los Angeles, and CNN. Hello.
Hi. Thanks for having me, Ben.
Yeah, well, we're talking Seattle. You gotta come if we're talking Seattle.
That's all I do. I cover Seattle on a daily basis. I leave. Eat, breathe, everything.
Everything's Seattle. Well, You're lucky to do it because it is a fun city. How did you end up eating, breathing, living, and now working in Seattle? I mean, you are a piece of it.
Well, I am a Seattleite. I was born and raised in Seattle. Went to UW, and then, wanted to spread my wings and get out of Seattle.
Look at all this.
Wait, do we have 4 Hefties in the room right now?
It's like friggin' an apple cup in here.
But this is what's so beautiful about Seattle is, I think a lot of people want to come home. There's no reason to leave. But, in your 20s, you kind of want to go and explore what else is out there. And you realize Seattle is amazing, and you want to come back. So that's kind of where I am. I moved back about a year and a half ago, and I saw how much Seattle has grown since I've been gone for the 10 years, from 2002 until just last year. I thought the city has just changed and grown. There's so much culture and so many transplants to the city that have brought so much to offer in the food scene, fashion, arts, entertainment, music.
There is so much going on now. I mean, compared to, we actually had this conversation 10 years ago. I mean, you look at the Bellevue skyline, or you look at all these areas that have really grown up in some way.
It's like unrecognizable. It's transformed so much that's what's so exciting. And I think it's such a great time. And that's why I think Seattleite, timing wise, came in at the right time. We launched a year and a half ago, and it really is, it's a passion blog. It's a super blog of a whole bunch of Seattleites who love everything about their Seattle. So we have the foodies, we have the fashionistas, and we have the people who are, diehard music fans or winos who just love everything about Washington wine. So we're a collective of talent of Seattleites, and it's all of our different voices that kind of communicate what's so amazing about where we live. So I think that's kind of one of those things. Within the last year and a half, we just had all this interest from transplants who've been moving to Seattle who are just like, I want to get to know more about my city, and the best way to do it is to cover it and talk about it.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think, Seattleite just came alive so quickly because of all the amazing talent around.
Yeah. Did you think that there was a void, though, of that kind of central location someone could go to, though, for food and culture and all that stuff? I mean, was that, sort of the thought process behind launching it, too?
Yeah. Well, basically moving away for 10 years, I worked in PR and marketing, so I saw what existed for other cities, for media outlets. And that was kind of like that one-stop destination to see everything about lifestyle, things that I liked, food.
Yeah.
And just wanting to know more about what that city had to offer for events or music or anything like that. And I felt like
it's almost like everything the Seattle Times doesn't have. I mean, it's everything a conventional newspaper doesn't have.
Well, I think there's great outlets here, but they're just a little bit more conservative. So I think there wasn't that fresh, new perspective on Seattle, which I thought Seattle has, like this kind of new, kind of hip vibe that I think the outlets currently aren't covering. So I started Seattleite, and it's more of like the lens that I see it as. So I think we've created this, like the culture is very important. We have this Seattleite mentality of like, we're kind of like the younger, more like targeted towards the young professionals. So we're a little bit more edgier on our coverage sometimes. And we like to have fun. We're not,
You're kind of in between like Seattle Magazine and The Stranger.
Yeah, we're kind of a hybrid.
Kind of right in the middle there.
It.
Yeah, so like, we are not as edgy as like a Seattle Weekly, but we're also not so conservative as like a Seattle magazine. So we're kind of just happy in between all that.
So how do you compile so much information? I mean, what are all the topics? You guys have events?
So yes, we cover.
Putting her on the spot.
Well, we publish Monday through Friday, which is a lot of content. So all original content Monday through Friday, about 3 to 4 new stories a day. So everything from Music Madness. So that's all about upcoming concerts. Dine on a Dime, food that's all, under $10. We have
So Mark's restaurant's not in there.
yeah, no, but we've covered his stuff too. We cover Happening Happy Hour, and then just everything. Food has been big. Wine is really big. We've even covered movies and fashion and just anything that helps you get the most from where you live.
Yeah, well, it's all really interesting because these are kind of those things. And as Seattle grows, we've talked a lot about the growth of the city on our show. These are things, these are items, these are things that are going on that people want to know about, and it really does have to be updated pretty consistently, I imagine, to stay current.
Yeah, it's really crazy now that I'm on the media side and just the amount of content that gets pitched to us, and we are now kind of the filtering system of kind of letting our audience and our readers know the most curated information, like what we want them to know about and what we think that they would really care to know about. So it's amazing. We see so much coming. So that makes me think, wow, Seattle has like every single day, there's like probably 20 different events and different things happening, new restaurants every single week and new events, new campaigns launching. So Seattle really is a huge market now, and it has a lot of people wanting to move here, a lot of people who want to do marketing here. I mean, there's just so much opportunity right now.
Do you see, Mark actually made a really good point, I think, Mark Canlis, before you came on, which was, it's a relationship with the city. He feels like Canlis Restaurant's a relationship with his city, and that's how he thinks of it. Do you kind of feel that same way? Yeah,
I think so. For our platform, we really, really want to be a resource, and we want to be able to have, our content be able to be a place where people can rely on and trust, and basically we are their eyes and ears for this city and communicate exactly what they should know about, or what they should at least learn about and get to love their city even more. Or at least, I think the great thing about Seattle is we have reach outside of Seattle. We also keep Seattleites who aren't in Seattle informed of the city that they love and they miss so much. So that's the kind of, the stuff that keeps us going too. We love being able to connect with Seattleites all around the world.
Jane, we just have a couple of minutes left before we go to break. You actually do a feature of dynamic people.
Right, it's Dynamic Seattleites. I saw that as I was reading through the newsletter.
It's always really fun to profitters and trailblazers in their industry. We covered Mark and his brother last year.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, oh, man.
They made it.
Yes. I call them the Legends of Legacy. So, he's been now the third generation of his family's restaurant. So that's just something that's really amazing. He's trendsetting and trailblazing and taking his family's restaurant to that next level. So we like to find Seattleites to talk, about people maybe they've never heard of.
David wants to be
people who they know about but want to know more about. So we definitely, we kind of are tapped in just through our little networks, I guess, now of, who we should cover. And this month has been great. We have everything from Amy Pennington, who she is the host of Check Please Northwest, which is on KCTS 9. Mm-hmm. And she's just a big sustainable foodie, to, philanthropic people who are just making a difference in the charity world in here in Seattle. So it's just a lot of different people from different industries and backgrounds.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, to be able to cover people and events and the things people care about.
It's all about Seattle, yeah. And
look,
just appreciate it.
If you guys could see the size of Jane's smile when she's talking about Seattle, it is, that she does it as a passion.
Yes.
Again, we're here with Jane Yuan, founder and chief Seattleite of Seattleite.com. We do have to go to break, but is there anything else exciting that we should know about?
Seattleite might be doing another event. We just finished a Scotch event with Glenfiddich, where we had 3 mixologists, McLeod's, Quinn's.
I cannot believe I was not there.
I know. You have to go to the next one. What? It was an amazing event, which we showed how Scotch could be used without, as a mixer, because most people they don't realize you can drink it as a cocktail. So it was a great opportunity to showcase these mixologists and work with the Glenfiddich brand. But we are probably going to be doing a fall comforts event, and it's going to be all about the hot chefs and their fall comfort dishes. So it's going to be like a chef tasting.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, Jane, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We have to go to break. Stick around just for a few minutes, bringing everybody back. You know, we've talked a lot about being involved in the community. We're going to get into that just a little bit more for the last little bit before the hour. My name is Ben Brash, and you're listening to Brashenomics.